Ladies and gentlemen, I'm meadsy69. Welcome back to the channel. Again, yesterday we had the Dracula, one of my favorite tanks in the game. In fact, coming in at number 8. So today we have number 7. Yes, my 7th favorite tank in the game. And again, we're going to change it up a bit. We're going to go back up the tiers and we're going to change the tank completely. So we are going to go to tier 10. This time it's not a premium tank. It is in fact a tech tree tank. It's a tank destroyer, and it is the T110E3. Now, when this tank was first, when it was years ago, not when it first come out, but years ago, this was one of the worst tanks in tier 10. Not just tier 10, but it was one of the worst tanks in the entire game. Wargaming buffed it. They've buffed it quite a few times, and they have now made it insane. One thing that makes this tank, for me, really, really special, other than the armor profile, is that consumable with where you can improve your engine power by 40%. 5 kilometers maximum speed forward and 10 in reverse. That is a big number, to be honest. For a tank that actually goes quite slow, that is a big number. But over the years, like, Wargaming they do keep changing it, like armor profile, the speed. They upped the speed as well. Before they gave it that speed boost, they did up the speed. And honestly, now this tank is absolutely incredible. They recently upped the alpha as well. So yeah, even better. So why is this my favorite tank? One of my favorite tanks. I mean, again, the armor profile is insane. The speed can be very, very good when you have that speed boost. And just in general, like, it's got a nice gun. Overall, it is a fantastic heavy, kind of like a heavy tank. I don't ever play this like a tank destroyer. Very, very rare I play this like a tank destroyer. So you can see the whole armor there, 305 millimeters on that front. Now, you do have your lower hull that is quite weak, and people will be able to penetrate you. And a thing like this tank, yes, it's got the upper plate, and the top is very, very strong. If you try to sort of angle, if you try to side scrape, then your armor does become a lot weaker. They can shoot through your track wheel, and your tracks, and you will get deleted. And sometimes it is annoying. Good players can find weak points with this tank. Of course, on the front, you've got that little hatch. Not the top hatch, because that is very, very troll. But on the left side, you do have that hatch. People can actually shoot, and if you're very good driving a Death Star, you can actually HE that as well. So you do have to be careful. If a Death Star is looking at you, don't just sit there. Like, at least wiggle, make it difficult. So the armor profile we've looked at, the DPM 2850. Yeah, not the best DPMs when it comes to tank destroyers, but for what it is with the armor profile, etc., that ain't bad at all. That is a 14.3 second on your reload, penetration 285 on your AP, 375 on your APCR. Now, I am running this with the rammer, not the calibrated shells, because I think that penetration is more than enough needed. You start running calibrated shells, it's got APCR, so it doesn't make that much difference, but yet you are losing a couple of hundred on your DPM. You've got 90 HE pen as well. So your alpha, you do now 680 alpha on your standard AP, 580 on your APCR, and a very nice 1020 on that HE. Aim time, yes, not great at 4.1. This dispersion, it kind of average for what it is at 0.344, and it does have a very nice 8 degrees of gun depression to go with your armor, and the top speed is 35 kilometers per hour. Now, 35 is quite slow, if I'm honest, but if you guys drove this tank when it was first released, it was, I can't even remember what it was like 20 or something like that. It was really, really poor. So let's just get into the game, or a couple of games, to show how this plays on the battlefield. So even though this is one of my favorite tanks, for me, it's like the mouse. I never used to be really good at playing this tank, the same as the mouse, and there's one reason for that, because People drive it thinking that the armor is unstoppable, the same as the mouse. Like, people drive it thinking, you know what? I'm a mouse. Nobody's going to pen me. And that's the same with the T110 E3. That is the same with the E3. People are like, you know what? I've got my armor is unbreakable. Nobody is getting through my armor. But that is not entirely true. People will be able to penetrate you. And I took that for granted. I took the armor profile for granted. Until I started sort of playing it a little bit different, then I started then doing a little bit better driving the tank. Now, goodbye E5. You shouldn't have poked out. Who pokes out sideways, especially in an E5? Thank you very much. So even now, thanks to that ammo rack, I've done 2,500 damage and I have blocked 1,500 damage. Now, I'm actually in a very good position at the moment. I'm using this guy to protect my lower plate. And you can see these guys just shooting a little bit of HE at me. But unfortunately for me, the Kranvagn is also in a very, very good position. Just showing his turret. And that turret on the Kranvagn, if you're hiding the hole, is very, very, very strong. So I'm looking, thinking, okay, do I switch to the APCR? In the end, I'm just like, you know what, I'm just going to splash you with HE. I'm going to splash you with HE, and eventually you'll freaking move. But yeah, it doesn't, fair play to that Kranvagn. Like, he was in a very good position. He held that position very well. And yeah, I don't think we win this game, and we don't win it because of that Kranvagn. Honestly, we lose this game all because of the Kranvagn there. But, you know, we got the ammo rack, we done a bit of damage, and we are going to die. But you know what, we are just, and that's the thing with this tank, like, the front plate, yes, is very, very good. The only thing that also, for me, really, not winds me up, but it's my own fault, because you've got this speed boost now, which is very, very important. Actually, we won the game. I thought we lose the game, but we end up winning it. But because we've got the, what's it called? The speed boost on the tank, that you have, in my opinion, you have to have, because it really does come in handy, especially if someone's pushing you and you have to reverse, because you do go like 10 kilometers an hour difference in reverse. That's massive. And of course you go 5 kilometers forward. It's a big difference, but because you have to use that, you are then sacrificing a repair kit. So that means you're only going to use one repair kit. Now I can sort of replace the adrenaline with the other repair kit, but I run the adrenaline on absolutely everything. The adrenaline could actually mean, like, it could be the difference between life or death. You might have to, just that half a second reload might be all the difference. But also saying that, the repair kit, the other repair kit could be life or the difference between life and death. So it is a difficult one. You need the adrenaline, you need the repair kit, and you have to have the speed boost. You know what I mean? If anything, I would probably drop the speed boost just to have the other repair kit. But for me, the speed boost means everything. It means I always use it at the start of the game, so it means that I'm getting into position a lot quicker. And again, if someone is pushing me, then I can reverse a lot quicker and get out the way, because in this tank, you have to face the enemy. If you don't face the enemy, you're just dead. People will be able to get to the side of you, HE the side of you, HE the rear. Other than the front plate, you really haven't got the best of armor profiles. So do bear that in mind. Again, I love the alpha as well. I mean, look at that, 780 alpha. And because Wargaming upped the alpha, they only upped it by about 40, but because they have upped that alpha, you will have quite a few shots that do over the 700 mark, which is what we've just seen there. Unfortunately, we should have aimed at that AMX-50B. I'm quite annoyed with myself there. We had all the opportunity in the world to get that HE shot out, but we rushed it and we paid the price. But even so, we still done over 400 damage, so it isn't the end of the world. So far, I'm still full hit points. We are level on tanks, but of course, we are winning on supremacy points. Now, this guy comes out again. I went to go for his weak point at the front, but yeah, again, I messed up. So we are trying to face hug this guy. And again, when you're face hugging, that is when this tank does become very strong as well. But as soon as you start to angle, again, that is where you will get penetrated very, very easily. So, of course, I want to go for the Death Star. Bit of a lower roll there at 660, but, you know, it's still a decent amount of damage. So we are now on 3k damage. I'm looking at this Ritter right now. He looks nice and juicy. 1600. I have a high roll locked and loaded as well. So, of course, I do want to focus him. And we are going to get the dead on 1000 damage done to him. So that now puts us on 4000 damage. And to be fair, we've done that very, very easily. So the Ritter, I don't know what he was doing there. But yeah, he is now dead. So it just leaves 2 tanks left alive. The AMX 50B from earlier. No idea currently where he is. I don't want to turn around because I know my luck. I'm going to turn around and then the Death Star is also going to get spotted just like this here, but yeah, he is now dead. So unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to get I'm not going to get much more at all, any more damage. So, but we do get the nice victory. And again, I could have snapped that shot. But let me know your thoughts. What do you think of the E3? The E3 and both the E4 are both fantastic tanks now, but for me, the E3 edges it with that armor profile. Let me know your thoughts on the E3. Is it a tank that you love, or is it a tank that you really hate? Let me know in the comments below. But for now, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I'm Meadsy, and I will catch you all tomorrow for my 6th favorite tank. Bye bye.